Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name's Kevin, I am a geek. You are watching Kevin the Geek. And this is a Sunday where normally I have my kind of Scottish content. Slight change today and this weekend. I've moved the Scottish stuff to yesterday. So basically I did still game the story so far yesterday, so please check that out if you haven't already seen that. But for today, for those of you who've not seen my videos in a while or maybe somehow managed to miss it, I am going on holiday today, in fact. And at the time of you watching this, I may be literally on my way to the airport, I may be on the plane, or I may have already landed. Depends when you're seeing this video. But what does that mean for the channel? Basically, I am pausing videos after today for the next sort of, I don't know what, it's almost 2 weeks. I think it's like 12, 13 days, something like that. So yeah, after today, no more videos until I come back. But I'll still put things on like the little community tab just to kind of keep you updated and let you know that I'm all okay and I'm enjoying myself, having a well-earned break. But we're doing 2 things today, both holiday related. I wanted to kind of put them holiday related because I'm going away on holiday. I thought it'd be quite happy to do that. So 2 things today. One is an episode of Travel Man, which I've not seen in a little while, so I'm doing that one. And this video here today is similar to one I did at Christmas. This is apparently a show called Very British Problems, and each episode focuses on different things. Obviously at Christmas I did one called Very British Problems at Christmas, and it was quite funny. And I'm watching this one, which is apparently about being on holiday. As soon as I saw this one, I thought I want to do this in time. It proved quite problematic. There was only one version I could seemingly find, and I don't know how good the audio quality is, because at one point there's one particular song that seems like it was like really sped up, and I tried adjusting the speed in my edits to try and get it to the right speed as what it was, but then everything else seemed to be a bit wrong. So I'll be honest, I don't know how close it is to the original. It might be slightly off, might be slightly fast or slightly slower speed-wise, but hey, we're just going to roll with it. But basically, it's about a bunch of celebrities who discuss, the topic of whatever the episode is about, in this case, holidays, and what it is like for them, and for the general public at large, and things that are good and are not so good about it all. So, yeah, you may not like it, but I really enjoyed the one that we did at Christmas. I thought it was quite amusing. Even for celebrities can have the same problems as us normal folks. So, here we go. This is Very British Problems on Holiday.
Britain, the home of the British. 65 million of us, bound together by the love of a nice grab bag of crisps, a brisk walk in the fresh air, and pretending we're busy so we don't have to see our friends.
Yeah.
Our history and culture are the envy of the rest of the world. But our weird behaviour and complicated social codes leave other nations utterly baffled. Yes, prince or pauper, publican or politician, we all spend every waking moment flustered, flummoxed and frustrated by very British problems. If you've ever been too polite to recline your seat in an aeroplane, shown how much you liked someone by insulting them, or lost sleep over who you'll be sat next to at a wedding, then don't panic. These are very British problems, and you are not alone.
It's ridiculous. But we do it. We do it because we're British.
In this series, we'll take a look at the hidden codes that citizens of this island are somehow hardwired to follow.
We fear looking arrogant.
I'm just terrified I'm going to see the wrong thing.
Please, don't make a scene. It's fine.
Yeah.
And we'll investigate the logic behind our bizarre British behaviour.
Weird little sprites, you.
That's okay, we've got problems, but they're our problems.
Yeah.
Very British problems.
British and I fucking love tradition.
Yeah, for me, trying to get a good cup of tea abroad, oh, that's a killer. Really bad.
In this episode, we're taking a look at those very British problems we export to other countries.
it was this song. This is the one that I was trying to use this as the bass line to try and get the audio that it didn't quite sound a bit right. So apologies, if this is difficult, because literally every time I'd like try and speed this up because it feels slow, this piece of music, because it feels like it should be we are young, free, it's that song. But every time I sped it up to try and get it, like the speech from the people in it then suddenly felt really off. So I just couldn't find the right balance. So yeah, we're just dealing with it the best that we can on this particular one.
The bizarre behaviours we display when we're out of our comfort zone and bombarded with language, customs and situations we just don't understand.
Babies Problems on Holiday!
Every year, 34 million of us pack up our Speedos and leave the country for a well-earned break.
Speedos, no thank you.
There's nothing like a packed Weatherspoons at Gatwick Airport at 7 a.m. to let you know that British people are going on holiday.
Yeah.
Because much as we love our little island, it can't offer us everything we need in a holiday.
The sea here is fucked, isn't it? So you go abroad, it's a fucking result, isn't it? It's not nice water. There's no nappies floating about, so it's like touch.
Even when we're abroad, we remain thoroughly British at all times.
Come on, let's pack our stuff. We're going to go to Spain. And it was so exciting. And then we would hang around with a lot of suburban British people in a pack.
And being British means lots and lots of very British problems.
Little things make me uncomfortable, like sometimes you go to the countries and they say you can't flush the toilet tissue down the toilet.
Yeah.
And then I think, well, now I've lost faith in your whole system.
Our very British problems kick off a neurotic 7 months before we even leave, which, according to an international survey, is when the average Brit starts planning their tanning.
A really perfect summer holiday begins in the winter. Cargo boat to Lisbon, fly from there to Gibraltar, pick up the liner as far as Naples, and there's a wonderful coach ride up to Venice. After that, Bob's your uncle.
My husband will plan everything quite obsessively in this very sort of English way, because we don't want to just be spontaneous or anything like that. Heaven forbid. I mean, it's a holiday. It's got to be planned.
Panicking about missing your flight seconds after you booked it. Oh my god, I am notoriously bad for that. Like, seriously, like, you know how they say, like, on average, try and get to the airport like 3 hours in advance. I always try and plan for the traffic on top of the 3 hours. So quite often I will be, thinking, right, I need to get to the airport like 4.5 hours in advance. And anything less than that, like, my sister's going to be driving me today. Me and my nephew, we're going to Manchester Airport. Really quite far away one from us normally. It's quite strange to go up there. But yeah, I know it's going to be my sister there. And all I'll be thinking is like, we need to get to the airport. Come on. And my sister, because you traveling with kids, it's gonna be awful. Literally, my nephew, he's 3, so it's gonna be one of those that we're trying to get him ready, trying to get him into the car, and I swear we're gonna not leave for like an hour after we plan on leaving, which is gonna send my panic mode into overdrive.
So much homework to be done. You can't just buy an airplane ticket and turn up. You have to say how many bags you're going to have, how much they're going to weigh.
Yep.
How many items of hand luggage. You find yourself running around the house going, how many bags are we packing? I don't know, the holiday's in 8 months.
Yeah.
They want to know now.
My dad is obsessed with how I'm getting to the airport. I actually just spoke to him just an hour ago, because he's coming here tomorrow. I know the whole itinerary. Hey, Dad, what time do you think you'll arrive tomorrow? Well, being picked up at 7, because I think that's plenty of time. Bit of breakfast at the airport. We won't eat anything at home. We'll just get dressed, go, bit of breakfast at the airport.
Yeah.
I think the flight is 11. We'll land. Then we've got the joys of US immigration. So I'll probably see you Thursday. Right, I don't need to know when your last bowel movement was, Dan. I just need to know when you landed.
Yeah.
Because of our fear of leaving anything to chance, the average Brit reads up to a dozen reviews on TripAdvisor for every single hotel they consider.
Yep. Yes. Oh my god, my viewpoint. This is probably going to be a really long video because I'm probably going to be pausing so much. I do apologize. I'll try and keep it to a minimum. But yes, like I get frustrated when people talk about reviews because at the end of the day, like there are going to be good reviews. There are always going to be bad reviews. You've got to find the ones in the middle to get the real picture. In all honesty, I will always make sure anytime I've gone away on holiday, I will always leave a review, whether it's good, bad, or just average, because I want people to know my personal thoughts. But they are my personal thoughts. With reviews, you need to try and leave your personal feelings out of the equation and just stick to facts. Honestly, the amount of reviews I've read, oh, there was this waiter and he looked at my wife funny. I swear he wanted to shag her. Or, something random like that. You're like, come on, have a bit of common sense. Just think the food was average for the price that you paid. Are you expecting to get Michelin-style quality but by paying for a £200 all-inclusive? No, come on, have some logic in your noggin.
I've got into a really bad habit when it comes to holidays especially, and even restaurants on holiday, where I'm checking TripAdvisor. When we went to Mexico this year on a honeymoon, for my birthday meal, I booked us into a place which was ranked second in Cancun for restaurants. It was a little shack, off of a service station. And I'd got loads of people to go there as well.
When 40 people go and see a movie, you'll have 40 different opinions about whether it's a good film or not. So why we'll all agree on whether the hotel was good or not, I don't know. But it's all you've got to go on. Is that Brian from Leighton Buzzard said the bathroom was a bit grubby. Can we go there? Brian didn't like it.
Although we're addicted to reading these reviews, we never want to be the kind of person.
Sorry, I'll try and give you some of the reviews of the hotel that I'm staying at the end of the video. Hopefully I'll remember for that.
Who writes them. One Italian lady posted on TripAdvisor a staggering 7,900 times in a year.
Bloody hell!
Fun at parties.
You read it, but then you think, what kind of person is this that's posting it? I found out one of my friends posted on TripAdvisor. I haven't been able to look him in the eye since.
Booking confirmation received. The next stressful episode comes on the day of our departure.
Yep, today for me. I might already be on the beach for all you know.
Insurance companies say we're actually more likely to be burgled on Valentine's Day or bonfire night. But that doesn't stop us Brits from being convinced we'll all have our homes broken into during our holiday.
Yep.
You can prevent crime. Don't let them get away with it.
I don't think
I'm
I've seen
just
that
convinced this time we've been burgled. And I'm going to get back and all the doors and windows are going to be open.
Yeah.
And there's going to be 42 families living in our house.
You're going to get 42 in my house. Well, flat. Being convinced that your elaborate security rituals won't deter potential burglars, yes. I just go, have I locked the door?
I never
yes,
know
that's
how
enough.
many curtains to draw. Do you leave a light on? Or do you get someone in to come and change the light? Turn one light on one day, because, I'm always concerned that someone's going to burgle it. But do you leave your bedroom windows shut, or your downstairs half shut? What do you do that?
See, these days, people will use, their smart speakers, especially if they've got, these automatic lights and stuff that you can go, Amazon, turn on my kitchen light, for example, or you can set it up that it's going to come on at a certain time each day, to make it look like you're at home. People are able to do that much more easily than they were.
I just let the lion roam free from the premises. It puts them off.
I will absolutely, as I'm locking the door and we're about to leave for 3 weeks, I will just kind of go, okay, Bill, bye, see you soon, because, you know, you just don't know who's listening. And also lowering your voice on the doorstep. You know that thing where you lend your keys to the neighbours and you just say, do you mind just making sure that there's no post left on the doorstep and that kind of thing. But I will always do it in this very sort of British lowered voice. So I'll kind of go, can I just, we've got a set of keys and it might be quite useful. We're going away. You could just, if you want to just look after the keys, just good to have the keys, you know, but specifically next week.
And in typically British fashion, we're determined to maintain standards, even for the people who are ransacking our houses.
I don't want potential criminals to judge me on my hygiene standards. So the rubbish is out, everything's clean, the washing is done, the ironing is done. The place looks better when I'm away for 2 weeks than it does when I'm there.
I get that.
We're a country that loves a rule. We've got etiquette guides stuffed with thousands of them, from the correct way to address an earl to the acceptable way to eat an avocado. And at the airport, rules are particularly important.
Oh, here we go.
They're the last familiar ones we'll see before our foreign destination, with all its unfamiliar ways. And the first airport rule: get there in plenty of time.
Yes!
It's always about getting there on time. They
Yes!
say 2 hours before, 3 hours before. And then, but other people are thinking the same thing. So 4 hours before, just be there.
The only problem with arriving 4 hours before the plane leaves is it actually gives us more time to stress.
I think that the anxiety starts when you arrive at the airport and you see a check-in desk after check-in desk after check-in desk with nobody there, except for one check-in desk that seems to be like a Take That concert or a One Direction gig. There's 7,000 people all seem to be getting to that desk.
Not so
I
much
hope that's
these
not
days.
it is the desk. And then your heart sinks.
Constantly imagining that you've lost a child, a bag, an important document, your mind. It's a sort of constant low rumble of terror.
Underneath the surface, we're in a state of supreme stress, worrying we've forgotten everything from passports to plug adapters. But holidays are meant to be fun, so we internalise our emotions, as ever.
British people at an airport are a ball of tension, but do not wish to show, because we're going on holiday, aren't we? So we're about to have the best time ever. So it's people smiling, and inside they're weeping.
Yeah.
Because nothing's going well, and someone's forgotten something, and it's a powder keg of emotions wrapped up in a sombrero.
Just make sure that your sombrero fits into a bag measuring 56 by 45 by 25 centimetres.
Oh, that thing about the hand luggage, honestly, no matter how many times I know that I've got one that literally is the exact size that it needs to be, I'm constantly petrified. When I've gone on like little city breaks and stuff, I'm always like, it ain't gonna fit. It ain't gonna fit. They're gonna see it. Oh my God, they're gonna see it and they're gonna go, he's got too much stuff, it's too big. Put it into a thing, and then it's not gonna fit, and then I'm not gonna be able to fly, I'm gonna have to pay like £100 up. Yeah, dude, just chill out. You know, just enjoy the airport experience.
Our innate anxiety about breaking rules reaches fever pitch as we head through security.
When I go to the airport and they try to take my toiletries away from me, obviously I'm going to get a bit antsy. And I know Kate Moss got in trouble for saying it on the plane, but that basic bitch taking out my toiletries and dropping them into that bin in front of me and looking at me like this is a security threat as she drops it into the bin. It's not just this is Clarence exfoliator. If you throw it away, I'm the fucking security threat. You can't do anything, you have to just let them chuck it away. You're totally helpless.
Although they're scrapping that now.
There's a war on terror.
Yeah, it's the 100 millilitre
What about the war on
rule.
dry skin?
I think that most airports are getting rid of that now because there's like some upgraded scanners or something.
Now that's all over, how about a nice wander around the shops? No, we'd prefer to stare constantly at a flickering departure screen waiting for an inevitable problem.
Let me know what you do at an airport. For me, I always go straight to duty free, get the nicest smelling stuff sprayed all over me because I ain't buying it. Never buying it, just want to sample.
There's boards that you have to look at all the time. You're always looking at the board. Is the gate been announced yet? No, it's not. It's not been announced yet, so we can go back to duty free. Yeah, no, what's that saying? That's saying the flight before has been cancelled. Oh, does that mean our flight's been cancelled? No, it hasn't. It's fine. It's fine. We can go back to duty free. But why are they going now? Well, we don't know because we don't know if they're going the same place as us. But they seem to be moving now. I know. But we said we were going to go to duty free. Yeah, but what's
They do that thing of going boarding now, boarding now, boarding now, boarding now. You're late. And you're racing through the airport because you're thinking, oh, but it doesn't take off for another hour and a half. Why are they shouting at us? Final boarding? What? And you get there, and there's still this snail-like queue of people.
Yeah.
Gate 18, and it says it takes 22 minutes to say. I know it takes 22 minutes to get to gate 18, but that is for the slowest person in the world.
Yeah.
All right, that's for the person who's sitting on that drivey thing and it's broken down and they have to push. That is how long it will take. So we can get there a little bit. We've got enough time. No, I think we better go now. We don't want to miss the flight. Don't want to miss the flight. And you're already in a state of anxiety before you even got on the plane.
There's nowhere more important for the British to form a nice, orderly queue than at the airport. After all, it might well be the last bit of structure we have for a fortnight.
My dad, he'll start the queue 2 hours before the flight's boarding.
Yep.
I'm getting.
There's always those ones.
It'll be worth it. What, you're going to stand for 2 hours so you can sit with legroom for a 45-minute flight? I'm only going to Dublin, Dad.
And surrounded by passengers from around the world, what better place than an airport to show other nations how it's done?
Oh.
I once landed at LA and they said there's been a problem, the computers have all gone down. We were there for 9 hours, standing there in a line.
Ooh.
And in our line, because it was a British plane and there was an Italian plane, after 20 minutes, all the Italians were lying around as though they'd been shot. As they were sort of dying. There were people leaning on each other, comforting each other, people weeping, sort of, you know. The Brits stayed standing in the queue
we love
the whole
a queue.
9 hours.
Yeah.
Just queuing.
Why? Why do we love a queue so much? It baffles
So what
me.
have we learned? We love going on holiday, but we're terrified our hotel will be awful, we're terrified we'll be late, and we're terrified we'll all be burgled. Join us after the break when we finally leave the country. That'll be relaxing, right?
Right.
Right.
Feel free to ask any questions you want to ask about my holiday in the comments below, and I'll try and answer them next month. Yeah, for the next responding to your comments video.
Hello again. Welcome back to our look at those very British problems that dog us when we fly off to unfamiliar territory.
When you travel by air, your chances of getting killed in a crash are currently 1 in 200 million miles of flying. At present speeds, that means you'd have to be airborne continuously for about 160 years before your number came up.
Aha!
Us Brits are more nervous of flying than any other nation in Europe.
Are we?
I hate flying. Don't talk to us. I haven't got a drink and I haven't got a cigarette. Leave us alone. I'm fit to get.
But our fear of flying is trumped by our love of holidays. So we just bury ourselves in our paperbacks and our iPods and get on with it, which actually makes us pretty good people to sit next to on the plane.
Really? I don't think that's always the right way.
You always want to sit next to a British person on a flight because they keep to themselves.
Not
I
all
had
of them.
the misfortune of sitting next to a lady from Quebec. My last trip to Canada, she had a fear of flying, and she started talking and crying. It made me miss Britain. It made me like, why can't I be sat next to someone who internalizes that fear so that it comes out later as alcoholism?
As well as alcohol, we have another way to combat our nervousness, the soothing security of rules and regulations. So just put your tray table up and wait for the captain to say when it's okay to go to the toilet.
That doesn't stop a lot of people on
It's a little bit like a schoolroom again, because we very much like being told what to do. It's their domain, and as nice as they are to us, they have the final say. And they will tell us when to eat. They will tell us when to drink. They will tell us when we've had enough to drink. They will tell us to sit down because you can't go to the toilet at the moment because the seatbelt sign is on. And we sit there and we do that because we like to know rules, we like order.
You have to put the tray table up and the seat in the upright position and the blind up as well. I asked the lady about the blind, and this is the genuine reason that they tell you, she said, it's because if something goes wrong with the plane, you're the pilot's eyes. Yeah. What, the plane's going into a nosedive and I'm meant to just amble up to the cockpit and pop my head through the door? I'm awfully sorry, I don't know whether you noticed, but one of the wings has fallen off. Oh, you did? Oh, you did? You had that covered. Okay, great. It's ridiculous. But we do it. We do it because we're British, and if we're told what to do, we do it.
Most of the time. Not always.
Researchers at University College London have proved that us Brits need 16 inches around us to stop us feeling that our personal space has been invaded. No wonder we feel so uncomfortable on planes.
Brits are uncomfortable with physical proximity anyway.
Yep.
And in a plane, you are wedged in these tiny seats next to somebody else, and you could be there for hour after hour. So I think we like to pretend that the other person isn't there.
Yep. I always like to go for the aisle seat because I'm 6'3", I need to stretch my legs out.
I got on a plane once from Australia to Los Angeles. This is years ago. And an American sat down next to me, and he went, "Hey, roomie." He went, "This is what we'll do. You think of 3 topics, I'll think of 3 topics, and we'll talk all the way to Los Angeles."
Really?
And I looked at him and just put my headphones on and went...
Even though we avoid conversation with other passengers at all costs, it doesn't stop us inwardly fuming at what we consider to be unsociable behaviour.
I was on a flight to Cyprus once, which was about 5 hours, and in typical British fashion, no one said anything about... There was a guy playing a game on his phone with the sound on full, like beep, 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 for 5 hours. And only as we were coming into land did a woman go, "That's been very annoying."
That's totally British. That's very annoying.
There's one type of aeronautical behaviour that winds us up more than anything else.
Kicking the seats. I don't think I've ever had a seat that reclines on a plane. Just to show what kind of ones I had to go on.
I don't recline my seat because I'm very, very spatially aware. And if within minutes of the plane taking off and the seatbelt sign disappears, the person in front reclines their seat, that's the point when I start thinking, oh, great, it's going to be one of those flights.
Yeah.
The reclining aeroplane seat was first introduced by German carrier Lufthansa back in 1926. Naturally, a Brit would never invent something that invaded someone's personal space.
I never put my seat back because I know there's no room. But this guy put his seat straight back into mine, which means that it means that his seat is there, and when you have your little nibble of food that they give you, you're like a mouse. So I said, "Please, can you not do that?" And he said, "Fuck off." I said, "Right, there's a little golden rule here." I said that when you're in this small confined space, no one reclines their seats. I know you're able to, but we don't because it's not fair on the people behind.
Yeah.
Fuck off. I mean, that's all I got. I discovered he was an American. So
explains it.
I spent the whole flight. Felt a bit pathetic, really, because I didn't win. He just stayed there, and I was just left going, "Oh, well, doesn't matter, really."
Unfortunately, news of the British protocol of never reclining and keeping ourselves to ourselves has got round the international community, and some of them are taking advantage of it to get some extra elbow room.
I will always try to sit beside a British person, even if I have to exchange seats with someone on the plane, because I know that I can spread out more. I can take advantage of them. I can move into their space, and I know they're going to do very little about it except grumble. And I don't really care.
I mean, true, but rude.
Move over, fella.
And of course we do move over, it would be rude not to. But when the plane lands and our fellow passengers applaud, our Britishness starts to short-circuit.
Why do people do that? Seriously, that baffles me. Why do people freaking applaud at the end of a flight? I mean, we've never had it on a bus, have we? Ding, ding, next stop, please, as I get off. Oh, thank you, driver. Oh, thank you for getting me here safely. Oh, I've just pulled into St Pancras Station. Oh, thank you, driver. Thank you for getting me here safely and not hitting anybody on the railway tracks. No, so why do people do it on planes? Someone explain that to me. Sorry, that is a big bugbear of mine.
We don't want to appear impolite, but we also don't want to participate in any public outpouring of emotion.
I don't clap the fucking geezer who's getting weighed on for it. Fuck off, clapping. What are you doing? He's on about 800 grand a year. And you don't even fucking land it, it's a computer. Fucking thing.
I think clapping is a very American thing, and I don't like it. I don't like people applauding things, because you go through some turbulence. I suppose you might say that British people would say sorry every time there's a bump.
I'm always going, yeah, come on, let's hear it. Give it up for the pilot, people. And they will do it. Brits will go.
So we've survived the flight with hopefully a minimum amount of awkward clapping and no interactions with strangers. It's time for the taxi to the hotel and, oh dear, we have to interact with a stranger.
My car turned up at the airport when I got there and just like ended up being at the complete mercy of like some taxi driver who's like driving me around Buenos Aires, and all I've got is like £7 in my purse and a W.H. Smith's receipt. And I realised that I don't actually speak Spanish, and like anything I do say they don't understand. That's when you feel like you're most British.
The taxi is named after an inventor called Baron von Thurn und Taxis, who came up with the idea of charging us by the minute. It isn't known who invented the idea of taking the extremely long route to the hotel, or our irrational fear of taxi drivers.
When you get a taxi late at night in a foreign country, you could have the nicest person ever, but there will always be a part of you just thinking in that journey, they're definitely taking me to some secluded ditch and I'm definitely not coming back. Ideally, what you want to see is a photo of some kids on the dashboard. That's what you want.
They might be kids he's buried.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Research by a travel agency has found that Brits don't relax on holiday until day 3. And until then, we're that most terrifying of things, the new person at the hotel.
I don't mind checking, I just wait.
When you first arrive at a hotel, you're not settled in yet. I think the worst thing can happen to you when you arrive at a hotel is they give you like a fruit cocktail welcome drink. And you have to sit in the lobby and you're marked out as you've just arrived. Everyone else is sauntering around full of confidence. They know where they go. They know where the pool is. They know where the restaurant, they know where the buffet breakfast is. You don't. And it's really obvious. You're sitting there looking slightly ashamed with your passion fruit-based drink.
I always approach the reception desk with a slight, so I'm braced, ready for the problem. Here we go. They're not going to have the booking. I know that's what's going to happen. And then I'm going to have to complain, and I can't do that. So what will actually happen is I'll just go, oh, that's fine. Yeah, don't worry, it's fine, it's fine. And of course, it's not fine because I'm there with my family and my luggage, and it won't be fine.
Normally, the British Reserve means we bottle up our frustrations and never let them show. But sometimes, just sometimes, after a long day's travelling, the stress of being out of our comfort zone at the front desk can finally erupt.
We went to stay in Disneyland once, I remember that.
Oh, God.
And my dad got really annoyed that our bags hadn't been taken up to our room. And as children as well, can you imagine how traumatic this is? Watching my dad build himself up into a rage and then tell Goofy to go fuck himself.
Hey, I'll tell Goofy to fuck off.
It's always a good idea to be armed with a few foreign phrases when you head off on holiday.
Yes.
The typical Brit knows 7 Spanish words, 10 in French, and around 3 Italian phrases.
Yep. Sounds about right.
Excuse me, répétez, s'il vous plaît. 2 more.
Sounds about right. Smugly considering yourself a linguist as my vocabulary of literally 3 foreign words. Yeah, you know what? People I've spoken to from foreign countries, they always say they don't mind if people like try and speak their native language and get it wrong, because they appreciate the effort. It's when people don't even bother to make an effort, just go, everyone in the world speaks English, I don't care, they're going to understand me, no matter what I do or say, no matter where I am. They're the kind of people that piss them off.
I always try and, say hello, and that we're from Scotland, and see what happens. Now, sometimes it can go well, sometimes they start speaking to you in their native language and you haven't learnt anything.
Yeah.
And then that's very awkward because you've kind of gone, hello. Imagine that in a foreign language. Hello in a foreign language. And they go, blah, 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 and you go, well, no, sorry. I only learnt hello.
The most British thing I've ever done is when I went to the World Cup in Brazil, the one word of Portuguese that I asked to learn before was sorry, or the version of excuse me, which is desculpa, because I thought that would get me through being there. If I bump into someone and I say that, then I'm sorted. And so that tells you just how British I am when I go abroad.
You still say
politeness.
sorry.
I didn't want to know stuff for ordering. Any like kind of etiquette in a restaurant. If they're taking my money, they can speak English. Oh my God, that makes it sound like Britain first. Fucking hell. Don't go to a meme on Facebook, that will.
Devant la maison, nous avons un petit jardin.
For those more ambitious Brits, there's always the hope that a single sentence might impress the locals. Often this sentence remains with us for life.
When I was a kid, I went on a cultural theatre exchange to the Czech Republic, and because we were performing there, we were each given a translation of one of our lines of dialogue. It was about women's suffrage. So what I was saying was not particularly useful in everyday life. And it was "Dal mi pravu, že nám ve veku starším 30 let," which I think means give women suffrage now. Having kept it in my head, I used to try and sell the dummy that I was speaking Czech to sort of waiters and stuff.
OK, so you've landed without mistaking the call button for the light switch, but you think you may have insulted the taxi driver with your tip, and you've already fluffed your first attempt at the language.
Yep.
You really need a drink after all that.
Yes!
Mine's a pina colada.
Oh, I love a pina colada. Yes, Billy!
Welcome back to Les Problèmes Très Britanniques. We're exploring the tricky business of how to behave when we take our very British problems abroad. From Malia to Magaluf, wherever we head on holiday, chances are we'll bump into some fellow Brits, and we always feel that we should give them a quick hello. As long as it's just a quick one.
Yeah.
Hello, Paul.
Yeah, we were on the same bus, weren't we, on the trip?
Oh, that's right, I sat by you. Oh, no, I didn't know you never opened your mouth, did you?
At a resort, I will go as far as a hey. Hey. Like that. I'll do a hey. I'll do that, but you're not getting another word out of me.
Of course we acknowledge each other when we're away. Of course there's that. It's like a small deer in a forest. You go, there you go. Oh, that's so funny. Yeah. And occasionally we go, Newcastle, yeah, Glasgow. Oh. And then you move on.
So we've just landed on some island.
So, oh, hello, I hear from you. Where are you from? You're British, yeah?
Do you know where I'm from? Have we guessed?
Hold on, I know that accent, yeah. Are you Bradford, something like that?
Right, oh, yeah, Bradford, yes.
And this is your wife, yeah?
Yeah. where are you from?
I know what you mean.
Where are you from, then?
Have you tried the hotel bar yet? We could meet up later.
We leave our wives at home.
Yeah, well, she's not coming out. No, she's not. I'll see you there, then.
All right.
You wearing your trunks?
Yeah,
I'll be wearing my trunks. So.
that went somewhere I never expected it to go.
It's kind of where I expected it to go with them
So
two.
we've acknowledged a few fellow Brits at the Continental Breakfast Bar, but that's as intimate as it's going to get.
Most of fair that another British holidaymaker might want to be your
If
friend.
I'm at a restaurant and there's another British couple sitting in England, I'm not going to just make friends with them. So why are we now trying to make friends now? Just because we're in a different country?
It's a good point.
Oh, wasn't it lovely
Very
we've
good
met that couple? No, because the holiday's ruined. I don't think it's lovely. I didn't book. Can I go on holiday with my wife and two knobheads I don't know? Can I book that now, please? That's not what I booked.
Me and my wife went on holiday, and I made the mistake of just saying to another British guy, all I said was, is that the ribeye? That's it. They were there, we sat here, is that the ribeye? And he took that as, oh, we're best friends for the rest of the holiday. To the point where me and my wife were like stealth operators. Like, if we were still searching for Osama bin Laden, I would just send Steve and Karen, because they would find him like that.
To stop us spending the whole holiday hiding from our new acquaintances, we've come up with a series of polite but ambiguous codes to avoid any sort of holiday friendship blossoming.
The first conversation's great. It's like, hi, how are you? You know, where do you live? Blah, 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 blah. Great, have a great holiday. Have a great holiday is holiday speak for goodbye.
Yeah.
End of.
Yes.
See you.
Sayonara.
Again.
I'm friendly with lots of people who work in the bar or in the restaurant because they're the people who are important.
Yes.
You know, the guy mixing the drinks is
You don't want them spitting your food.
the guy giving you your dinner. But anybody else, absolutely. Golden rule, we don't talk. I pretend that they're talking to somebody else.
Research by an online travel agent found that a quarter of Brits give out fake phone numbers to holiday friends. Clearly, we don't want to be stuck with them for any longer than strictly necessary.
Yeah. Never wanted to holiday friends, see friends, ever again the second you get home.
I think it's best to avoid trying to make friends on holiday. You know it's all a little bit kid malaria. This isn't something that's ever going to be continued back home, and you don't want to get to the end of a fortnight and start exchanging numbers that you know you're never going to ring. Just leave it.
Same my mum does.
Safari. It's another couple.
My mum had literally got a couple of people that she met on holiday with her husband, and I don't know, there was somewhere a couple of years ago. Literally, they now go on holiday with them every single year. They literally do, and they live in like the opposite ends of the UK. And it takes them a couple of hours, and they'll come down for like my mum's annual kind of summer barbecue. So they'll see each other like twice a year, and it's literally just a couple of people they met on holiday one year. Am I alone in just thinking that's a bit weird?
And it was fine, we chatted, and, you know, it's all inclusive, you have drinks and food and stuff like that. And then they emailed a month later saying we should meet up, why would we meet up?
Yeah.
We go, we really got on. Do you know why we got on? Because it's really hot and we're looking at some lions and we're all in a good mood. I'm not going to meet up with you in Crawley. It's not going to be the same backdrop, is it?
Nah.
Debbie and I have been darting like mad, going to the gym 3 times a week. When we get here and you see the sights on the beach, and I think, why did I bother?
Yes.
Brits
Very
are
good
the
point.
second most diet-obsessed country in Europe after the Danes. Unfortunately,
really?
half of us fail in our diets after 3 days, which makes stripping off a trial.
The fear of undressing in public. I mean, that's just in general, isn't it?
I think they're more confident in their bodies, other countries. British people hate it. I think if British people could cut their head off and just put it on a block, we would. Just a little head knocking about, no bodies. We hate our bodies. And if anyone's got a good body, we're like, oh, look at him. God, put it away.
I do feel like everyone's got a much better body than me.
Ah, absolutely. You should try it when you have to sliver into the sea with one leg on. even worse, when you get stung by a jellyfish, scream, and then the first thing people see is when you come out with one foot missing. Christ, what's going on here? Some big jellyfish.
Research by a pharmacy found that 9 million of us get sunburned every time we go abroad. But at least that means the sun was out on our holiday.
Nothing makes me happier than checking my weather app and seeing a whole row of suns. Sun, happy, happy sun, screen grabbing it and then send it to someone in Britain. I love that.
Yeah.
But that is so British.
Yes.
Holiday, innit? Beautiful. Bliss.
In Britain, we have only 60 days of sunshine a year compared to 300 in Spain. So
Yeah.
it's very important for us that those few days of sunshine in Britain don't happen when we're abroad.
Yes! Yes! Yes, 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 yes!
I get that slight guilty pleasure when you Google London weather and just see rain clouds. You're like,
It's more important that it's bad weather at home than it's good weather on the holiday.
Yeah.
To find that they've just gone through a mini heat wave when you've got back from holiday is
Yeah. Oh.
You might as well have taken all that money you spent on the holiday and thrown it down the loo.
Yeah.
And even worse than good weather back home is having British weather abroad.
Yo!
Sunny
Nothing
Spain.
worse.
It's bucketing down. I suppose a snow will come tomorrow.
I went to France for a holiday and got to Nice or wherever, and it was raining. That is depressing, isn't it?
Yeah.
You leave London in the rain and you arrive at Nice.
In the
Slightly
rain.
heavier rain, a little bit cooler. So after a day there, I thought, let's look at Saint-Tropez. And they said, oh, it's sunny there. So I said, right, we're going. So we cancelled the hotel, moved to Saint-Tropez.
And it's raining there as
and
well.
and the weather followed us.
Mm.
And it was then sunny in Nice. Went back to Nice, and it started raining in Nice. So I went home early to find that my gardener was having a party because he wasn't expecting me home in my house. So that was a great little holiday package, all because of the weather.
If the weather's no good abroad, then it's the perfect time to go sightseeing.
I would love to see an old ruin. I just can never be fucked. Sag, go get on a coach or something. You think, oh, no, I want to go and see that. It's like fucking 300 years old. Fucking, I just can't be bollocks.
You don't...
Isn't it a weird thing that when you go abroad or you go on holiday, you're interested a lot of the time in doing things like that, like, oh, I want to go see this like really old church or whatever. But for a lot of these people, They're not just laying around on a Sunday afternoon and go, oh, you know what, shall we go for a walk? We'll go over to the next village. There's a really nice old church over there. You know, shall we just go around and have a look at it? No, no one does that in the UK. They only want to do it when they're abroad. It's weird.
I don't know how long you meant to stand looking at something. I went to see the Mona Lisa in the Louvre, and about 20 seconds in, I was thinking, how long do you reckon until I'm allowed to walk away? Because I'm done here.
Yeah.
But I don't want to...
You've seen it before as well.
Yeah, I've seen it on a postcard.
I understand these people that go to crap stuff. Do you know what I mean? Like, you've got to go to this fountain. Do I? You know, it's like they're ruining a nice trip with stuff. Do better stuff than here. I wouldn't go and look at that if it was next to my house.
See, exactly that. And the weird thing is, I'm actually kind of not complaining as such, but I'm talking about these people that don't do it like on a Sunday afternoon. I'm exactly that person. I go abroad. I went to Lisbon. I've been to Seville. I've been to Barcelona. You know, beautiful, historic, cultural countries. And I've wanted to go around. I want to see these old things. And like in Lisbon, especially, like all these houses, like with tiles on the outside and everything. I'm like, wow, this is so cool. But I don't do that in the UK. I don't do it. I'm literally those people.
Why would I go to the other side of the world to have a look at it? Are you crazy?
When we went to Australia, they were asking if we wanted to fly over Uluru, over Ayers Rock, and then I googled what the aerial view of it was, and I didn't go because I've seen what it looks like, and I looked at it on Google Images, and I thought,
I've seen it now.
So, to recap, we acknowledge other Brits abroad but avoid chatting to them in case it leads to an unwanted friendship.
Yep.
We hate it when there's good weather at home, and we don't like to spend any more than 3 minutes in the museum.
Yep.
Which is how long it'll be before I see you again.
Or maybe in 3 seconds. Because I don't have ads here.
Welcome back to Very British Problems. We're taking a look at those peculiar VBPs that we pack up and take with us when we go off on holiday. We don't have much in the way of dangerous wildlife. It's all been rather tame since the saber-toothed tiger died out 1 million years ago.
I don't know,
in the 21st century, our deadliest animal is the cow, responsible for around 5 deaths a year.
Brits have a hard time relaxing in any kind of natural setting because nature died in Britain about 600 years ago.
I mean, for me, it's just more for allergies more than anything
As
else.
British people, you go to the toilet here and the worst it's going to be is a spider. But when you're abroad and you hear all the horror stories come back to you, so I'm scared of using, like, you know, the lavatory, because I'm always terrified that there's going to be a snake that comes up. So I tend to try and hover over it and sort of look, just in case the snake's going to come up and bite me.
I don't understand that people live in these countries, these dangerous animals. Let them have it. There's enough of the world to go around for the rest of us. If they've chosen there to live, let them have it.
Our fear of animals on holiday really took off in the 1970s, when the government scared us into believing that any contact with foreign dogs would instantly kill us.
Can you imagine being frightened of every friendly animal you meet? Imagine rabies in Britain. All dogs will be leashed and muzzled. No animal may be moved in or out of the infected area. All cats will be restrained.
The rule is any animal, domestic or not, abroad has rabies. That's all that can go through your head when you see a dog. Rabies, 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 rabies. If the dog comes up and licks you, you've probably got 72 hours to live.
Rabies is a killer. We must keep rabies out.
What a sort of mild bit of racism to spread around. Oh, they're dogs. They got rabies. They'll kill you. Don't go near the dogs. Stay in your hotel. Build your own pub. Don't go near the locals. No, their dogs have rabies.
But dying a protracted, painful death has nothing on our worst fear of all. The foreign toilet.
Oh!
I've never seen toilets like this before. You got me joking. It's all in the floor.
Oh, yeah. That's common in other countries, especially like Asia and that. We've seen it in An Idiot Abroad.
I get nervous about using toilets in other countries. In fact, I would say on holiday, the first 2 days I just won't shit. I just won't. It's like my body's going, dude, let's just feel this out for a bit. And if it's safe, then OK, we've got one for you in development. But let's not drop a deuce until we're absolutely sure about the situation.
Yeah, do test flushes first.
In Britain, we get through 2.5 times more loo roll than any other European country. So the prospect of being stuck with a hole in the ground and no paper is particularly terrifying.
Sometimes there's a hole in the floor and a water tap. British people cannot handle that.
Nah.
It's just like, what do you want me to do with that? I wouldn't be surprised if someone just went in there, sort of jet washed the floor and left. Like, just didn't know what else to do.
If you're of a sensitive disposition and the thought of a foreign latrine is turning your stomach, I should warn you that we're about to discuss an extremely distressing topic.
Uh-oh.
Haggling.
Oh, haggling! Brits love to haggle, but they hate it at the same time.
3,000. Okay, 3,1. 3,000. Okay, give me 3,000.
British people hate haggling. I hate haggling. It makes me feel physically sick. It's too much pressure. It's too much stress. I'd rather pay double. And then you see the people at the market all giggling and laughing with their mates going, oh, I've got that much off him. Whatever, mate. I've got my self-respect.
I think it's rude.
Have you?
I think it's rude. They've said how much it is. Just pay it. You don't go to your local supermarket and go, oh, I know it says £1 for milk, but 25p. You don't have to just give them the money.
How much is it? And they'll just give me the price, and I go, all right, and there you go. And then I move on with my life, mainly because I've not gone abroad to spend my time haggling over key rings.
No, okay, I won't haggle on stuff like that. Don't get me wrong, like something ridiculous like that. But no, like you've been to some countries and you see the prices. Like where was it? I think me and my friend we were in Turkey, and it was like a fake. It was a very clearly it was a fake. I don't know, like a Hugo Boss polo or something like that. It was like very badly faked, and yet they were saying like they wanted. It turned out it was like when you exchange it, it was about £200. You're like, hell no! I wouldn't even pay that for a real Hugo Boss shirt. No, talk about this. That's where I draw the line. It's like, yeah, come on, there's a limit.
Shaped like camels.
Haggling is a form of public arguing, and we don't like to do that. Haggling is saying, I want this. No, I want this. We like to do everything through subterfuge and code. We don't like to overtly disagree with people.
So we Brits avoid confrontation at all costs, which also means no complaining on holiday. Besides, even if we wanted to, we probably couldn't. Not with the language barrier and everything.
Until you get home and you write the reviews.
What you do when you go on holiday, when you're British, is you just make the best of it, really. You've called it on, you've paid for the fucking thing. So if it's a bit ropey, you suffer it. You know what I mean?
What a good place to be. The British would rather grin and bear it than make a fuss.
Otherwise you admit the honest
Complaining
failure.
the holiday breaks the illusion of it just being like paradise and that. You start admitting to yourself somehow, like, this is really shit. Look at this shit that they're serving up. Look how shit that beach is. That pedalo costs 1,000 and shit pounds to go out for 10 minutes. So, you're admitting that you've screwed up. You could have stayed at home watching the box.
We'll never want to admit that we've wasted our time and money.
Nah.
So instead, it's just a case of keep calm and carry on, pretending everything's fine.
Yep.
When you go to places like America and stuff like that, they feel like you're all working together for you to have a good experience, do you know what I mean? So, you know, when I get a complaint, you know what I feel? It's helping me to improve. So thank you. Thank you for telling me how I can help you, and in that way you've helped me. I don't feel like that. I worry that I'm causing them a problem. You know, you want to be as little of an issue as you possibly can. I think that's the British instinct.
My mum
He's got a point.
could order a sandwich. You could bring her a salad containing shards of glass,
Yeah.
and she'd go, "It's fine."
Yeah, that's
Honestly,
the British
I'll
way.
eat it.
But
Yes.
I don't have the right. Who has the right to complain? American people. That's who has the right to complain. British people don't have the right to complain.
You're a little suspicious of foreign hotels. Well, what could be more reassuring than this one? Another luxury hotel where the staff will greet you as though you are royalty or even Americans.
I like the British way of suffering in silence on holiday. You don't want to complain. And I didn't even realize that you were that way largely until I went back and holidayed among American people who complain just to check that you're paying attention. They'll be like, "Oh, but could I not have this? And does the cream sauce have cream in it? Does it? Oh, well, I don't." It's mortifying.
The Americans invented the service industry. Maybe that's what makes them
Did they?
so happy to complain about it. Although, in fairness, we Brits do complain too. We just do it to the wrong people. Other Brits.
Yeah, or
We
just
like a
ourselves.
bitch, don't get me wrong. Between the other people in the hotel, we will moan, like, we will literally go an hour just saying, "I tell you what though, I don't know if your room was like it, but like, they hadn't changed our sheets." And we'll moan about it. Never tell a single person from the hotel about it. And then you'll see somebody from America or something properly moaning at the staff and go, "I tell you what, I wouldn't, that's out of order that is, but I bet you they got clean sheets."
After 2 weeks, it's time to check out and head home back to Britain. It's good to be back because no matter where you go, if you're British, there's no place like home.
Always the way.
What are you looking forward to most about this holiday?
Probably getting back when I
Says a lot about your holiday, mate.
I got off at Heathrow when I came back from Australia. I could have cried when I saw that grey sky. It was brilliant. It was so lovely.
We love
That's
to complain.
a national rule that you have to say, isn't it nice to be back home?
Yeah.
I mean, everyone has to say that.
We complain it's too hot, but then we complain it's too cold.
As soon as I
There's
come
no
home,
wind with us.
suitcase goes down. Have a nice cup of tea. We have a nice cup of tea. Oh.
Yes!
Do you know you can't get a good cup of tea anywhere apart from you? Can't,
Thank you!
Can you?
Sleep in our own bed, something else you say. It'd be nice to sleep in our own bed tonight.
First thing I do as a British man when I get home is order a fucking Chinese, and I think most people do that.
I
They
don't.
do. Just fancy Chinese for some reason. There's some chow mein wrapped round you.
Holidays, eh? We worry we'll miss the flight as soon as we've booked it. We
Yep.
avoid talking to anyone when we're there, and we honestly can't wait to get back home.
Yep.
Now, where's that menu?
Oh, fantastic. That has really set me up for my holiday. And as I'm recording this, I'm literally going away tomorrow. So fingers crossed this will all get edited and exported and everything in time without any issues. And also, fingers crossed it goes on YouTube, because then that adds another ball ache that I have to try and create an additional video to try and show you wherever it is on like Dailymotion or Google Drive or whatever, you know. Yeah. How many of those, if you're British, or even if you're from another country, you know, how many of those do you kind of resonate with? You know, for me, there is so much there across the whole spectrum of the holiday that really just stands out to me. It's like, yeah, I recognise that. Yeah, I recognise that. All the way through that. It was absolutely fantastic. So yeah, you can check out obviously my other Very British Problems, the one I did at Christmas last year. You can check that out, or you can check out the rest of my content on the channel. Like I said, today there is also going to be, or it may already, I don't know which order I'm doing them yet, but there is a Travel Man video with, I've decided to go with Johnny Vegas, because I did I was looking through the files. I was thinking, who's someone I've maybe done on the channel that I find funny, or whatever, or just someone who I've seen in general that I find funny. And I thought Johnny Vegas, A, I find him funny, but also B, I've not seen him in ages. I think literally the last time I saw him was in series 3 of Benidorm, I want to say. I don't think I've seen him on the channel since that point. I mean, I might have seen him in something else, but I can't remember. Right, the other thing that I spoke about, I literally just remembered, was speaking about reviews of holidays. So, what I'm just going to do is I'm going to bring up TripAdvisor of the hotel that I'm going to be staying at. I'm going to read the first 2 reviews that I can find for this hotel. I'm going to literally try and find the most recent ones, and it will literally be I'm going to try and find like the best one and the most bad one, so you can kind of get a sense of it. So a review which was yesterday as I'm recording this. Sorry about a dog suddenly going off and barking in the background. But this one is a 5-star review. 5-star value, cleanliness, sleep quality, rooms and service. Great family hotel. Food was great. Always something for everyone. Our daughter celebrated her birthday. They made a cake and the staff sang happy birthday. Lovely location. 15 minutes walk to Sunny Beach, and the free water park access is a great bonus. We look forward to returning with family. There you go. There's 858 5-star reviews on this one, but there are 57 1-star terrible ones. The most recent one, May 2024. Okay. Oh, this is a long one. Okay, this is going to be interesting. 2-star for value, 2-star for location, 2 for service, 4 for rooms, 5 for cleanliness, and 5 for sleep quality. You just know, you know kind of the person who has written this straight away. The worst holiday we've been on! Oh my word. Sorry, let me move into the middle and make it a little bit easier to read. Where to start? This holiday has been the absolute worst holiday we've ever been on. It's absolutely not like described on Jet 2. Firstly, there is no soft play. The Children's Club is basically an empty room with a few chairs / tables scattered around. The pools are freezing cold. Our 3-year-old was crying. Oh God, that's bad. It was as I'm going with a 3-year-old. And shivering anytime anyone tried to encourage her to go into them. The water park being the main attraction for us, and I'm sure others with children, was a huge letdown due to how cold the water was. They're outdoors. What do you expect? I mean, trust me, it never said at any point that they're heated. So, you know, she can get off her high horse for that straight away, whoever wrote this. Definitely not suitable for younger children, even in 25 degrees weather. Our child wasn't the only one upset or cold. I think if your child is older or doesn't mind absolutely freezing water, then this is the place for you. The park and the hotel is tiny, and given the size of hotel / number of guests with children, you'd think they'd try to renovate it at some point. But no, just hundreds of children crammed into it at night as there's little kids entertainment that lasts about an hour or 2. Which means kids are constantly getting hurt as it's so busy, and a lot of parents just sit and get so drunk and don't supervise other children either. Don't get me wrong, you can see how hard the entertainment team and staff work here. I can't personally fault any staff member, but the facilities are absolutely rubbish and not like what described. We would never have booked known any of this. Again, like, at what point do they say, yeah, it's going to be really big? No, you just read reviews and you get your own sense of it. Entertainment does have shows for the kids on here and there. We're excited to do the pirate show, only to find out you need to pay $40 per child to participate. At least that's something you need to know about. That's the kind of stuff you do need to know. What an absolute joke. The ATM around the corner didn't work. The exchange place in the hotel closes at 6 p.m, which is great given the show starts at 8. We'll get your money out earlier, or bring it with you before you leave. How this place is 4 stars is beyond me. that's 4 stars relevant to the country that you're in, not 4-star in UK land. Please save yourself money and avoid this hotel. All my daughter has done is cry. We've spent a fortune going out to the hotel to do things with it, as the hotel is an absolute shambles. The communication is a joke to try and resolve any issues. So seemingly they are people who like to complain. There's a few good things. This place is very clean. The staff are in every day cleaning the rooms. The food is decent and does have good options, but not so much for children. The staff aren't to blame for any of this, but the hotel itself and lack of facilities for families with young children. We tried to get flights home as this is how much we absolutely hate this holiday, but unfortunately there's no way unless we want to pay £200 plus to change flights, pay more money for transfers of flights to a different airport. Do not go here if you have young children. Please look somewhere else. Wow. But that's literally the first 1-star review since July 2023. So, like I said, with anything like this, you have to take them with a pinch of salt. I try and look at the sort of the 4 and 3-star reviews on TripAdvisor. I think that's where you get the most accurate sense of what it is. There are going to be people like this who will put, the worst holiday I've ever been on kind of reviews, just because they want to try and get something out of it. Honestly, they are going to be the ones that aren't going to complain to Jet2 and make a fuss and try and get something. No, they're not. They want to put it on TripAdvisor. They're not going to put it anywhere else. So there you go. That's my hotel. Yeah. That's going to be interesting. So, yeah, drop your comments. Let me know what your thoughts were with this and holidays you've been on and your things. All that kind of stuff. Do please subscribe if you're new. But for now, my name is Kevin. I am a geek. You are watching Kevin the Geek. I will see you in a couple of weeks when I come back off my holiday, and I'll tell you a little bit more at that point. But for now, thank you and goodbye.